you're kind of a conspiracy theorist when we did our podcast.
Was I?
Yeah, you're a little bit like out there a little
Oh
bit.
yeah,
That
I'm
was funny though, dude.
definitely. I mean, literally that day.
That was funny,
That
dude.
day I woke up, I was so fucking hungover.
Really?
Yeah, and I just
You were
started.
funny on it though. It was good.
I started drinking again to feel better.
Wow.
And by the time we started doing it, I was already drunk again.
Yeah,
I woke up.
I wore the shirt for you.
I love Richard Pryor.
Yeah, I know. I wore that shirt
Richard
for
Pryor is my favorite comic of fucking all time.
Yeah,
man.
yeah, mine
I
too.
actually watch. Have you ever watched the Richard Pryor TV show?
you. Long time ago.
They just started really
Oh, wow.
re-uploading them on the YouTube.
Oh,
And I've been
wow.
watching them every night. And it's obviously it was network TV.
Yeah.
So he couldn't be the rich. You know what I'm saying? Like
Yeah.
it's kind of.
Yeah.
I don't want to say it's not funny.
Yeah,
Because it
yeah.
is still funny because it's Richard Pryor, but you
He
can
was,
tell
he
like
was controlled a little.
Yeah, you can tell.
They held him back.
Yeah, they held him back a lot on that shit. I love every year. I watch the Richard Pryor roast. I watch that at least once a year.
Yeah.
I love that. Paul
Yeah, he
Mooney.
he was a good dude.
Yeah. You ever met Richard Pryor?
Yeah. A lot. Very
Damn.
close with him. When I was a kid, yeah, he was there at the store all the time.
Mm-hmm.
So I got to see him all the time. I got to see him work out his stuff from scratch,
Damn.
which was fucking really interesting. Because you'd watch him start off with like, it'd be like Jennifer Pryor, his wife would be in the back in the original room. And then Richard would go on stage and have like papers and shit. And then it was really bad.
Oh.
It was really bad. Like it like wasn't you know what I mean? It wasn't getting any response. And then as the weeks started to progress, finally got like 20 minutes, you know what I mean? And then by the time he finished, after like 3-4 months of just like there every night, he had like 45 minutes that were just undeniable.
Shit. That's crazy.
Yeah.
You
So
ever just
he
see-
was terrible when he first started, you know, when he would
Yeah.
first say, I mean, that's kind of what a lot of these guys do, like, you know, Rock and I'm sure Chappelle and the best of the best, they just go raw at the beginning and be like, fuck, I got to start over.
Mm-hmm.
And that's the hardest part, I think, for a comic is to put a special out and then take a year or two off and go, yo, I got to start over. And then that first week.
Yeah.
And that's kind of why I moved out here to Austin is because of Joe's Club. For me, it's like the safest place to be able to try to get to the truth without having to be scared that someone might film it or you might say something a little derogatory. You know what I mean? You can really feel free there, and that's what's great about the small room. You know, the small room, yeah.
Yeah.
So I'm excited.
So that's crazy, like to be able to see Richard fucking work shit out. Like, I don't know, man. Like comedy is just like I said, it's like the top tier of entertainment for me.
Yeah, you told me that last time too.
Like
Yeah,
just being on stage with a mic, you ain't got nothing. Like doing music, you know, you can hide behind the music
Yeah.
and shit like that. But just to be, and then we do the fucking. I've been doing the same songs for like 10 years. You know, you can't do the same bit for fucking 10 years. You know.
Yeah, I've been doing this for over 30 years, and like I was there all weekend doing shows, and I have so much material, like old stuff, new stuff, and then when I go up there, sometimes I'll do bits that I did 20 years ago,
Oh, shit.
and not even know, you know what I mean, and be like, shit, like because the way I work,
It's
I don't
just like muscle memory or something.
yeah, because the way I work, I don't know where the fuck the show's gonna go.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I just kind of like I went on the other night and before Adam was there, Adam Egget, and I said, I don't know what the fuck I'm gonna do. And he's like, what do you mean you don't know what you're gonna do? I'm like, I just gonna see what happens.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And then it's like a surfer. You drop in, and then the audience is like a wave, and it just kind of like you don't know where you fucking go.
Oh, shit.
And then all of a sudden you look up, they give you the light, and there goes 40 minutes.
So that's how you do it most of the time.
Yeah.
Like sometimes you just
I
stumble.
don't know where I'm
stumble
gonna
on
go.
a bit, and then you work it out as time progresses.
Yes, I've always worked that way.
Oh shit.
Yeah, I've always worked like very like the. That's why I'm excited about Joe's Small Room. And my father too. My father, he opened a lot for comedians too. Did you know my dad was a comic? Mm-mm. Yeah, my dad was a comic. He's the one who started the whole thing, and then he was touring with Elvis Presley.
Oh shit.
Yeah, so if you put in Sammy Shore and Elvis Presley, you'll see photos. And then he opened for Sinatra and Sammy Davis, and you know, my dad was triple old school, like fucking back in the day.
Oh shit.
There's my dad and Elvis, yeah,
Like
you know.
yeah, so it's like you come from like a crazy legacy type shit. Like that never was like pressure for you.
Yeah, it did. It did. It did. It did. It made me work. It made me work a lot. I think a lot harder than most. You know what I mean? As far as like, oh, I got to prove to my parents that I'm here for real. And I thought it was good. I thought that was good for me, and I also thought it was bad for me because it doesn't really give you a chance to really, really develop. So when I hit on MTV, I really hit on MTV.
Yeah.
It was like a big explosion. But you know, the harder you rise, the harder you fall. So it's like for when things started to slow down for me, and my movies weren't doing as well as the previous movies, it was hard. It was hard for me. But you know, looking back on it, you know, you have a lot of woulda, coulda, shouldas, and then sometimes you're like, hey, maybe I should have slowed down and not done so much so early on and developed more.
But that's
But I
crazy that
didn't.
you had that positive outlook like that to be like, fuck it, I'm gonna work. Because you know, some people when they parents are already like, you know, like when they're already good and shit and they got everything already together, it's like, you know, they try to just live off that legacy of that type shit. And for you to be like, fuck, I'm gonna work harder just to make sure, you know.
Yeah, there was that, and there was also the fact that I just love making people happy. You know what I mean? I loved, you know, even when I was a little kid, I'd walk in the room, and that's where I would see all the comedians. So there were times where, like, it would be like, you know, in the middle of the night, I'd go downstairs, my mom would be partying with the comedians during the week, and then I would open the door, and like Richard Pryor would be in there. And like Robin Williams would be in there, and Richard Belzer and Argus Hamilton and all these old school comedians from the 1970s. And I'd walk in, I'd say, Mom, you got to be quiet. You know, I have school. And then everyone would start laughing.
Oh shit.
You know what I mean? And it was just like, but it was never weird. There was never any weirdness at the house. It was always nothing but love. Yeah. So I don't know. I like making people laugh. Yeah.